I don't know who's going to read this. Maybe it'll get deleted. Maybe someone will screenshot it before I wake up and regret posting it. But I can't keep pretending anymore. 3 years ago, I joined a neighborhood message board. Just normal stuff. Lost pets, suspicious fans, complaints about streetlights. One night, someone posted about a man walking past houses at 2 a.m. I commented first. I said I'd seen him too. The problem is, I hadn't. But the attention felt good. People started asking questions. What did he look like? What was he wearing? Did he seem dangerous? So I described someone. Tall, hoodie, limp in his left leg. It was fiction, completely made up. Within days, other neighbors claimed they saw him too. They started posting doorbell camera clips, blurry shadows, random joggers, delivery drivers. Every shape became him. And I kept fueling it. I made a second anonymous account and replied to my own post. I said I'd followed him once. I said he took pictures of houses. I said I saw him peeking into a child's window. None of it was real. But fear spreads fast online. Someone eventually identified a man who matched my fake description. A quiet guy who walked at night because he worked late shifts. The limp was an old sports injury. His name started circulating. People confronted him, filmed him, posted his address, called his job. I watched it all unfold from behind a screen. I told myself it would calm down. It didn't. He stopped leaving his house. Someone spray painted pervert on his garage. His employer put him on leave, pending investigation. There was no investigation. There was nothing to find. Because there was never a stalker. There was only me. 2 months after the first post, he moved away. I heard later that he tried to sue, but nothing stuck. Too many anonymous accounts. Too many concerned citizens. No single person to blame. Except there was. It was me. I didn't do it for money. I didn't even do it because I hated him. I did it because I was bored. Because watching the panic made me feel important. And the worst part, no one ever found out. My neighbors still talk about the stalker who got scared off. They still thank each other for protecting the community. They think they won. They have no idea they destroyed an innocent man's life over a ghost I invented. I'm posting this because every time I open that message board, I see my original comment still there, still getting liked, still feeding the story. And I'm the only one who knows it was never real. If this goes viral, maybe someone will figure out who I am. Maybe I deserve that. Because the scariest part isn't that people believe the lie, it's how easy it was to make them. One of the most disturbing confessions ever recorded began with a calm, almost bored voice saying, "I guess I'll tell you everything." In 2018, in a small interrogation room in Colorado, Chris Watts sat across from investigators. His pregnant wife, Shannon Watts, and their 2 daughters, Bella Watts and Celeste Watts, had been reported missing just days earlier. At first, Watts pleaded on camera for their safe return. He stood on his porch, swaying slightly, telling reporters he just wanted his family back. But detectives already sensed something was wrong. Inside the interrogation room, after hours of questioning and a failed polygraph test, the cracks began to show. Watts lowered his head, and then he confessed. At first, he claimed Shannon had killed the girls in a fit of rage after he told her he wanted a separation. He said he walked in and saw her hurting them. He said he reacted in anger and strangled her. But the story didn't hold. Investigators pushed further. Evidence mounted, phone records, surveillance footage, GPS data from his oil work site. Eventually, Watts admitted the horrifying truth. He had killed Shannon. Then he drove with his daughters still alive in the back seat for nearly an hour to a remote oil field owned by his employer. There, he smothered his daughters one by one. He buried Shannon in a shallow grave. He placed the girls' bodies into separate oil tanks. The calmness in his voice during parts of the confession stunned even seasoned investigators. No screaming, no breakdown, just flat explanations of unthinkable acts. In November 2018, Watts pleaded guilty to 9 felony counts, including first-degree murder. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. What makes the confession so disturbing isn't just what he admitted, it's how he admitted it, soft-spoken, detached, clinical. A man who had appeared on television, begging for his family's return, calmly describing how he ended their lives. Sometimes the most terrifying monsters don't hide in the shadows. They stand in front of cameras and ask for your sympathy. I've rewritten this 6 times. Every version sounds like I'm trying to justify it. I'm not. I did it, and no one suspects me. It started with obsession, not anger. She wasn't famous, she wasn't an influencer, just a regular person who posted about her life, morning coffee, photos, gym selfies, late night thoughts about insomnia. I don't even remember how I found her account, but I remember the first time she replied to one of my comments. It felt like being seen. When she stopped responding weeks later, I told myself it didn't matter. I created a second account, then a third. I convinced myself it was harmless. Watching, liking, keeping track of her routines. She posted everything publicly. The jogging trail near her apartment, the bookstore she visited on Thursdays, the way she always walked home with headphones in. I never planned to approach her, not at first. The night it happened, I had already typed a goodbye message in my notes app. I knew I'd crossed lines. I told myself I just needed to see her in person once, just to prove she was real. She was, and that's what ruined everything. I followed her farther than I meant to. She must have sensed it, because she turned around suddenly, pulled her headphones down, asked if I needed something. Her voice wasn't afraid, just annoyed. That broke something in me. The argument escalated too fast. She threatened to call someone. I panicked. I grabbed her arm. She tried to pull away. I didn't mean to push her that hard. She fell backward onto the concrete steps. The sound her head made, I still hear it when I try to sleep. She wasn't moving. I remember kneeling beside her and saying her name like that would fix it, like I had the right to say it out loud. I checked for a pulse. There wasn't one. I wish I could tell you I called for help. I didn't. I ran. The news reported it the next morning as a tragic accident, late night fall, no signs of foul play. They mentioned her social media accounts, how active she'd been hours before. They never mentioned me. Police never contacted me. They never knew I existed. Her profiles are still online, frozen in time. People still leave comments on her last photo. Miss you, gone too soon, life is fragile. Sometimes I type replies and delete them. I want to confess in real life, but I know I won't. That's why I'm leaving this here instead. Because every time someone says it was just an accident, I feel this pressure in my chest. It wasn't. It was me. And the worst part, if she hadn't turned around, if she hadn't spoken, I would probably still be following her. The video starts with a buffering wheel, then a face appears in dim light. No music, no background noise, just a bedroom lamp casting shadows across the wall. I didn't plan this, the voice says. Calm, steady. I just wanted to see if I could. The confession begins 3 months earlier. It started in a true crime forum, the kind where strangers dissect unsolved cases like puzzles. The streamer explains how fascinated they were by patterns, how online communities connect dots that police miss. So I made my own puzzle. First, they created anonymous accounts in different cities. On each account, they posted vague, unsettling messages, photos of empty parks at night, close-ups of random houses, captions like, "You forgot to lock your window." They weren't targeting anyone specific at first. They just wanted to watch fear grow. The posts spread, screenshots moved to bigger platforms. People tried to trace IP addresses. Amateur sleuths compared street signs, shadows, tree lines. The streamer smiles slightly. You'd be surprised how easy it is to manipulate perspective. They admit the photos weren't random. They were taken during road trips, public places, homes visible from sidewalks, nothing illegal. At least not yet. Then they found her, a woman who frequently commented on the threads. She was determined, smart. She claimed she could outthink whoever was behind the post, so I focused on her. The streamer described studying her public profiles, her running routes, her favorite coffee shop, the park she visited every Sunday. I never touched her, not once, they said quickly. I just stood where she couldn't see me. One night, they posted a photo, her apartment building, caption, "You're close." The internet exploded. She deleted her accounts within hours. The streamer's breathing stays slow as they continue. She moved out 2 weeks later. I know because I watched. Chat messages begin flooding live stream. Viewers asking if this is real, if it's a prank, if someone should call the police. The streamer leans closer to the camera. You still think this is about her? They explain the real goal wasn't fear. It was escalation. They describe planting small, harmless items in public places, a red ribbon tied to a fence, a symbol drawn in chalk on a sidewalk, then photographing them before posting cryptic messages online. Soon, people across different states started copying it. Strangers began staging their own sightings. The symbol appeared in places the streamer had never visited. The story grew bigger than me, they whisper. I didn't even have to try anymore. Communities accused innocent people. Local news stations ran segments. Police departments wasted resources investigating a threat that technically didn't exist. And then the final line, I never broke into a house. I never kidnapped anyone. I never killed anyone. I just proved I could make the world believe I did. The live stream ends abruptly. The account is deleted within minutes, but re-uploads circulate. No one ever confirms the identity of the person behind it, and to this day, people still argue in comment sections. Was it performance art, a confession, or proof that sometimes the most dangerous weapon isn't violence, it's influence?